And I think we failed, as you can see right here. Welcome to another video. Today we're going to try to use a 3D scanning app to try to create this 3D look on this product commercial for this electronic scooter. I'm not sure if this is gonna work out, but let's hope it does. And if it doesn't, well, I guess we'll find out. There is this app that I recently discovered called the Polycam App, and it's a really neat way to get yourself immersed into the world of 3D and getting just some 3D scans of real world objects. And what's cool about it is that depending on the way you capture your object, you're able to mask it out, export that into an OBJ file, for example, and bring it into After Effects and use Cinema 4D, the light version, which comes included with After Effects. So you can just go ahead and use that to manipulate your 3D objects. But I haven't tried this before. I just know the concept and I know that this is something that can be possible. Traditionally with product videos, what I have done is put an object on a rotating stand so that that product can rotate, or put a green screen in the background, and that way I can key out that object and create cool animations with that rotating object. But with this scooter, this is actually really heavy, about 30 pounds or something like that. I am not able to do that because I don't have a display stand or rotating stand that can rotate this. And I couldn't figure out a way to do that, and I wanted to incorporate a sort of like a shot like that into this product spec commercial. But the only way I could think about it was to use this 3D scan, convert it into an OBJ file, and do that in post in After Effects. And before we continue, I just wanted to talk to you about this electric scooter by a company called Niu. Thank you, Niu, for sending me this scooter. This is the KQi2, and there are a few features that are really neat about this scooter. Actually, it has a bell, but that's not one of the key features. It has a range of 40 kilometers, which is actually pretty good. It can go up to a 28 km/h speed. It has a minimalistic design. It has a very powerful battery, and it charges in about 7 hours. So you can just leave it overnight and let it charge, or you can use this to commute to your office, just leave it at your office and just leave it charging there. It has a really cool halo light right there. It has Bluetooth connectivity, so you can pair this with your phone. And a cool feature about it is that you can lock this scooter from your phone. So even if somebody were to turn it on without you being here and try to attempt to ride it away, they wouldn't be able to get it to work because the scooter is locked and you need your phone to unlock it. But that still doesn't prevent people from just carrying it and taking it away, but at least there's that extra protection. You're able to fold this as well, so you're able to carry it to places, but it is a little bit heavy, so be mindful of that. So I've already gotten most of my shots outdoors. There was one particular sequence that I really enjoy using POV mode on my Weeble 2 gimbal. So what I did with that is to simulate a little bit of a robotic arm sort of movement. And let me know in the comments below if that sort of stuff interests you. I'll make another video and a full tutorial of how you can shoot something like that and how you can edit that. So let me know in the comments below if you would like to see that. But let's first go into some of the tips that the Polycam app suggests for you to start creating your 3D scans. So for example, it says that you need a lot of surface detail and texture, avoid reflective and blank surfaces. It should be rigid and not a floppy object. And what we'll do is a manual capture. We'll take about 25 to 300 photos and try to get a capture from all angles. I'm not going to be rotating my phone and moving around. What I'll be doing is rotating that object on the spot and try to get as many photos as I can in different angles. After you've captured everything, you upload this to the cloud, Polycam's cloud, and then it starts processing. And after, you're able to download it. And if you want an OBJ file, you can pay the price and just export it. So I'm done taking all my 3D scans on my photos. So I took actually 239 photos, quite a lot of images. So hopefully, because I took almost the maximum amount of images, this works. So in terms of detail, you can select optimize, medium, full, or raw. So we're going to be using the full option. This is best for rendering and VFX. And I think that is what we're going for, because we're going to be doing some VFX with it and video rendering. So object masking. Here it says, make sure the object masking toggle is set to on if you flipped or rotated your object at all. And we have done that, so we'll be setting that to on. So now we're ready to upload and process. After about 15 to 20 minutes of waiting, it finally processed my scan. And I think we failed. As you can see right here, it got the entire object almost pretty good. Like, I think it's able to tell that this is a scooter. You can see that it's able to capture most of the details pretty well. And if I rotate this around, some parts didn't get cut out, unfortunately, of the blue backdrop, and it completely missed the bottom. I probably had to capture more of it. So I tried this 3D scan again. This time I went out on a day that was a little bit more overcast so that I could get more even lighting on the product without any harsh shadows. And the 3D scan, as you can see, turned out a little bit better than the first time when I was doing it indoors. But there are still elements that the 3D scan was not able to fully get, mainly the handlebar and that stick that connects the scooter's base to the handlebar. It completely missed it, and it just doesn't look good. And I'm not very well versed in a 3D environment yet, so I'm not able to go further ahead and sculpt that or clean that up. In the end, my idea for this shot did not fully work and I failed at it, unfortunately, but I learned a lot in the process. Maybe this product is just too intricate and too complex for the app to be able to get me a really clean capture. I probably had to start small with a smaller sculpture or a miniature object or something like that to be able to get something going on with this app. But if you have any tips or recommendations on how I can use this app or another 3D scanning app, and what tips do you have for me to improve the capture, let me know in the comments below. I would love to hear from you, experts, if you've done this before. But I definitely enjoyed the process. You do not learn if you do not try, and you do not learn if you don't make mistakes either. So definitely something worth a try and worth the experience. But let me give you a few tips about some of the shots that I had in this video so that it can help you in your own videos moving forward. So for this one shot where the camera roll was following the handlebar, all I did was shoot it at 24 frames per second. I did not want it to slow it down. I wanted to show that real motion in real life, but shooting at 24 frames per second, there isn't that option to slow it down in post and make it less shaky in case it was shaky. So I had to try it a few times, hold the camera as close to my body as possible, and then just move with the subject and try to time it correctly. For this shot right here, I shot the subject in a similar framing in 4 different locations, and later in post, I just cropped the different locations and aligned and timed the subject as they entered each individual frame. For this one shot, I'm not sure if you noticed, I did not shoot this with an anamorphic lens because I don't have one, but instead I used an anamorphic lens flare. And I talked about it in a previous video that I've done before, so I'll leave it in the cards right here or in the description below. This particular one is from Prism Lens Effects. You just put it to the front of your lens and you're able to get really cool anamorphic lens flares. And the last shot I wanted to talk to you about is this shot right here. This scooter was going at about 3 or 4 kilometers an hour on this sidewalk, but for some reason it looks like it's going faster. So there's a trick to make subjects in your videos look faster than they actually are. And the answer to that is to include elements in your foreground. In this instance, I had a lot of grass, a lot of ground in my foreground. Just taking a couple of steps gave that impression that the subject is going faster than it actually is. So this is a really nifty trick to try next time you're filming a car, you're filming a bicycle, and you want to show that it's going faster than it actually is. It's me from the future, and I actually forgot to tell you how I came up with this shot. So this was really simple since my original idea did not work. All I did was dig around online for any assets I could use, and Amazon had this in 360, and it worked really well when you looked at it on your phone. So I just screen recorded my phone, added some overlays that I got, and this is how I created this one shot. I'll at least try to create something similar to the original idea I had in mind. So I hope you gained value from this video and that you're taking away some stuff that you can introduce in your next video. And please subscribe if you haven't already. I'll be attempting this 3D scan product video another time. I need to get it right. So if you want to follow along that process, make sure you're subscribed so you stay tuned for when that video comes out. So thanks for being here. I greatly appreciate you, and I'll see you next time. Oh, and if you want to check out this scooter, I'll leave a link in the description below. Bye.